Well, then I think it's incumbent upon you as a borough council representative, along with Corky and Dave Callahan, what have you, to come to council with those concerns. And
Okay.
present them in a unified fashion. You're gathering facts, and I appreciate the fact that you are gathering facts.
Okay.
But until we see the facts, and, you're talking from a budget sheet I haven't even seen yet, so my
I have
offensive
a-
comment was meant in the direction of, define loss is a defined loss. Until I
Okay.
see that it's a loss, it's a word.
Can we agree I didn't offend you, Bob?
No, you didn't offend me.
Offend you.
And I hope I didn't offend you.
All right, and the answer to should Newtown Township and the borough get involved, like I said, our hands are tied. You were absolutely right. There's 6 members from Township, and there's nothing I can do. I would love for the council and the Township to get together and resolve this amicably. And I understand there's things that are beyond our control, but I'm telling you from my perspective as a board member, I go to these board meetings, and Dave and Corky and I vote in the way that tries to preserve the corporation, and the other members don't. And we sit there and we try and present the facts, and these guys take actions that just deteriorate the corporation. I guess my answer to the overall question tonight is, I'd love to preserve the architecture of the corporation. I just can't do it because the board won't let me. And that's just the facts of life. So, thanks again.
Josh?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think you probably bring up a good point. You said that you brought up some ideas for preservation, and they shot it down. Do you have examples, or Corky, have you guys talked about it? Because I'd love to hear them as to what some of the ideas are that we can put in place and maybe get them done by the end of the
I've
year.
talked with many of the board members individually about things, different focuses for the board and how we can do things in the borough. We haven't had an event in the borough. I mean, we haven't spent any money in the borough. And so, I've talked with them individually. Actually, I have a couple of great ideas for ways we can actually use Brewfest money to be used for the borough. I mean, I can present them now, but I'd prefer to present
For
them to the
historic
board.
preservation?
Yeah, whatever we want to do. And I'd love your
Well, but
input,
I think
John.
that's what we're trying to get out here.
Okay, well, I'd love the input from the council of what specific projects we can use our money for.
No, no,
I would love for how we can use our money from Brewfest. Tell me what we should use it to preserve in the borough, and I'll use the money for
Right,
it.
so that goes back to that laundry list of what we should provide
Right,
you. But
present
my-
it to us.
my
But right
concern-
now, there's nothing in our budget, and these board members will not vote for it.
Right,
They
but my
will not.
concern is you're saying that you're coming up with ideas and they're just saying we're not doing it.
Absolutely.
So the historic ideas that you're coming up with, they don't want any part of?
Yes, I've come up with several ideas to help preserve the fire hall, preserve the police. I mean, I've wanted to use funds to preserve the playgrounds, preserve anything in the borough. They won't use the funds. I've talked with them individually about this. They don't want to use any of it for it. So, I mean, I don't know what else to do except to say they want to use it for these marketing campaigns. I mean, we spent $40,000 on a marketing campaign. The budget for the marketing campaign, let me go back to the numbers here. Our budget for the marketing campaign is $30,000. We spent $32,000, which we're already over budget for marketing and promotion. They've spent $16,000 on the website. The budget for the website is $7,000. So, I mean, it's like we're fighting with one hand to preserve the money, and we're fighting on the other hand to just, find things to spend the proper uses for the money. So, I mean, I don't know what else to do, John, except to say, they won't listen to a word I say on the board meeting. You've been there. I mean, you've seen the...
Well, I just have not heard you come up with a historic idea of
Okay.
preservation, and that's why I was curious, because if you have them, I'd love to hear them.
Okay, well, I will write a list out for you,
Okay.
and, I'll bring them up at the next board meeting, so.
Thanks.
John, I'm glad to hear the conversation brought back to the subject of historical preservation, since that's the topic at hand. And
Yeah.
Josh, although you and the council went way off topic again
Right.
while you've been up there, I do want to say I've been to a number of those board meetings. I'm copied on the emails that fly back and forth, and you are representing the interests of the borough and of the original intent of of the Newtown Corporation. I think you're doing a good job, and you're getting a lot of criticism, and you're not being treated well, and it's remarkable that you're sticking with it, and you're continuing to try to move the corporation in the right direction, try to get the corporation to do the right thing, and represent the interests of the borough. And along with Mr. Swartz and Mr. Callahan, I just want to say I appreciate it.
All right, I appreciate that. Thanks.
Josh, since you have the financials in front of you,
Sure.
you said there's $55,000 left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how much of that is in the CDs in the bank?
Hold on a sec. I know I emailed it to all of you today, so you all have a copy of this. They have 25,000 in one CD, 25,490, and another 25,714 in another CD. So 50,000 in the CDs. They have one bank account, so yes, so they have, right, so 50,000, well, approximately 51,000 in the CD accounts, and their other accounts, which I guess are their operating accounts. They have $2,500 in a savings account, and then they have just a regular First National account with $1,100, and then a debit card account with $332.
Okay, so the majority of this money is sitting in the CDs then?
Right, they're eventually going to have to...
So we really can't access that, right?
Right, he's going to, I mean, they might have already accessed it now in September, because this is as of the end of August. So I don't know, I'm not the treasurer. I actually tried talking to the treasurer today about that, and they encountered a great amount of resistance.
So the Newtown Corporation started the year at what, 120,000 plus or
I
minus?
think it was close to 130, but I think
Yeah.
we're in that range.
Okay.
So the numbers are, again, this gets a little skewed because in the financials, you have to remember that the skate park money is in our financials. So for instance, the balance sheet shows us at $75,000, but $20,000 of that is in an account for the skate park. So I don't count that as our money on hand.
Wait, and why is that still in the Newtown Corporation account? Why isn't that money, didn't that money go straight to the township, to their account to support for the payment of the skateboard park?
I mean, I don't know why it's an accounting issue. It's, you know, I don't know why.
I'm not being critical of you, but
Right.
since you brought it up, it just amazes me that I understand the Newtown Corporation set itself up as the vehicle to collect the money because of the nonprofit status, but it would be my hope that money that was collected that way would then immediately get turned over to the township for their fund, because the township is in fact building the skateboard park. Not that it would be held in the coffers of the Newtown Corporation. That doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, that's a question for the treasurer, Paul Blancato, and it's a question for the accountant.
Yeah, and then I realize that's gone off base here.
Right.
So, and knowing what you know about how the Newtown Corporation has been operating over the last several months, have you seen anything that demonstrates that an effort is being made towards a goal of protecting the architectural heritage of Newtown Borough?
I haven't seen one instance of it. In fact, we can't even get, you know, just simple questions answered.
Okay.
For the, like, you know,
All
what
right.
do our actual bylaws state?
Okay.
I mean, that's the kind of questions we spend hours, or well, not
Yeah.
hours, but spend a great deal amount of our time at our board meetings debating. So I just want to say one other thing about the skate park money. That $20,000 also, when you go through the financials, skews the financials because, as you can imagine, $20,000 is added to our income. They also have $10,000 in income from Newtown Borough and Newtown Township, because that money was actually given to the township, given by the township and the borough. $5,000 was from the borough, and $5,000 was from the township, were checks that were given to the corporation in 2009, but weren't actually deposited until 2010. So that money adds another $10,000 onto our income for this year. So you add $30,000 onto our numbers, and so what you have to do is, when you look at the financials, to subtract $30,000 from it, $20,000 from the skate park, $10,000 from the borough, and that's where you get our true income number for this year.
Okay.
So
One
it
more-
says -50 for this year. The true number is -80.
One other question. In discussion about the Brewfest among the board and so on, and when the conversation of this activity has been proposed, has anything been said to the board members about, if there is a profit from this activity, what that money will go towards?
No. And I just want to bring up another point. Corky mentioned our two biggest revenue sources are Music Fest and Brewfest. Brewfest is in the $50,000 range. Music Fest is concluded. In this financials, Music Fest not only didn't make money, it lost $4,500. So, and then in the budget that I received in July, which is a revised budget, it was projected to make $7,000. So they were off by $11,000 on that budget item alone.
Thank you, Josh. Anybody else have questions for Josh?